We now have a presentation on the topic robotics in banking, financial services, and insurance. Pujo Ari Vibovo has more than 20 years of experience in banking operation area of retail and institutions. As Bank EMB Indonesia's head of operations transformation, he manages some of the bank's initiatives related with continuous process improvement and customers' experiences through digitization, automation, and simplification. I welcome Pujo to share his insights. Hello, Pujo.
Hi, Priyanka. Thank you very much for the introduction, and thanks to TradePass team as well for this virtual event arrangement, replicating the physical conference virtually. But it's nice platform, so I like to explore more on the platforms. So since yesterday. Okay, so
Thank you.
good morning, everyone. So. Understand that we are still in this pandemic situation where for some people still working from home or working remotely. But I believe this situation shouldn't block us from keep learning, keep sharing, and getting insight, and then also keep improving on any situation as part of continuous process improvement activities. So yeah, as all of us know that initially when we work from home, then this condition probably declare as BCP, but then getting longer, and now then probably has become a new normal as business as usual. Yeah, so now as already mentioned by Priyanka, so I like to share a bit about the robotic process automation. I'm segregating my presentation into two parts. First, about the understanding in general for the robotic process automation, and then the second part will be related with the how it's implemented so far, how it's been applied based on our company implementation rollout since 5 years ago. Yeah, so initially for this robotic process automation, we implement first bot in 2016. Yeah, so as part of our journey, so we send some of our staff to the vendor location, and then we trying to build or we're trying to apply train the trainee approach. So we send some people, and then when they return, they share their knowledge to everyone that would like to learn more, would like to have the growth mindset, would like to apply what to have the solution of their problem. So that's how we initially implement for the robotic process automation. Okay, I go to my first slide. Just a second. Yeah, so hope you can see my first slide here. So on the understanding definition of RPA. So if we refer to Wikipedia, so that's probably the common Googling description that we search on the definition or abbreviation. So it's a form of business process automation technology based on the software robot, but it's more on the finding the efficient way or tools to increase the performance, quality, and insight to any repeatable process here. So it's more on the flexibility, scalability, accuracy, and as all, and for the staff experience as well. So as I mentioned before, so when we initial implement this robotic process automation, is a bit kind of change cycle process when we interesting to know more and more and about how it can be utilized across the bank or across the industry. So we send some of our staff and then creating more and more developers right now. So not only limited to particular staff, but we built a team of developers that part of their business as usual activities. So they learn something new, and then they apply what they know based on they got from the training. From the initially implementation life cycle, we follow with the requirement gathering, or we'd like to explore more what the user having a problem on the ground, and then we do the assessment where this RPA can help, where this RPA can assist the end user a lot, and then start with the development, and then trying to fix and match with the requirement, and then we do the testing evaluation, getting feedback, and then when the feedback finalized, then the requirement match, then we do the implementation. So that how we applied the RPA in our cross department for the solution overall for the problem that we had. Yeah. If we talk about the RPA, so basically, in general, if you have issue on the repeated work on the copy paste, for example, from particular cell or rows or column, let's say from Excel file, and then that's consists of high volume activities, then need to be interface or copy paste into from one platform to another platform. So this is the simple functionality that or the simple feature that RPA can solve. So it's like the screen scraping methodology, if you're familiar with the terminology. Yeah, so that can replicate what the human can do, especially relate with the screen on your computer or on your laptop perhaps, and then it can do like screen recording as well. Yeah, so then once it's compiled, then it's produced into, we call it bot. Bot is something like robot or module or bot, and then when we click, and then it's run exactly the same with what we currently do on the activities that have been repeatedly on the end user day-to-day activity. Yeah, so that's in brief picture on how to describe the RPA, including the hope I can explain clearly on that part. Yeah, and then so what can be automated? So that might be the first question or relate with the RPA. So the data extraction from and to all information or across the platform. So that the first thing that RPA can do in terms of what can be automated. And the second one relate with the Windows or web navigation. So we're familiar with the Windows and web navigation required and action required. And then comparison or validation data. And then rule-based decision. And then, for example, like if, then, and then do, something like that, if familiar with the coding or programming. And then there is a specific as well in terms of structured data. Yeah, so for structured data, that's related on the kind of data format that can be served using this RPA. The first one is, of course, the particular format of the Excel file, as I mentioned before. There is a cell, there is a rows, there is column, yeah, and then fixed column, fixed length, something like that. And then the text file format, and then the CSV, particular variation of text file, the comma separated value, and yeah. So those are the data format that can be playing around with this RPA. And then the other abilities, I think, as I mentioned before, so particular of any web browsers that can be automated, and then the Windows application, and then the green screen. If you're familiar with the mainframe, the AS400 or kind of a mainframe system with the green screen background or the black white background, so that can be play around with the robotic process automation or RPA. So in terms of other abilities that can be automated as well, something like generating distributable Windows executable on running the task. So there are some of particular tasks on Windows, as I mentioned about the screen recording. So that can be automated as well, utilizing this RPA. And then the other active abilities on running based on the scheduler, based on the timing. So you can set the timing for this particular task can be run at a certain time every day. So it can be run based on utilization of scheduler. And then launch via events or trigger. So for example, like when you click and then it runs automatically, or when you drag the mouse button here and there, then what will happen? So that can be recorded and automated as well. So, and the other abilities as well on the wizard. So it can there is a wizard there in the robotic process automation on the software based on the drag and drop command as well. So like event trigger, and then based on drag and drops command that you don't need to type in every detail, but can utilize the template provided from the software. Yeah, so actually the from this slide, yeah, so on the understanding of the RPA, so anything that in nature become repeatedly can be automated. So like what I mentioned about the copy paste and the high volume activity, so repeated and high volume that can be automated utilizing this RPA. And then on the ability to create tasks involving the browsers or Windows-based application or a mainframe, and then ability to utilizing event triggers or utilizing the wizard drag and drops. And then in terms of interfacing with other systems, it can be utilized as well, including combining this RPA, robotic process automation, with the recent technology of machine learning or artificial intelligence. So this is one of the recent advance and enhancement related with this robotic process automation. Okay, now I go to the next slide. Just a second. Okay, in this slide, what I'm trying to share here is the implementation or the utilization of RPA on our day-to-day activities across bank. So considering the features functionality that can be automated by RPA. So first of all, we implement for the reporting. For the financial industries, understand there are some regulatory reporting as well. And then for internal management reporting, for sending to some of stakeholders, and then for various of reporting that can be implemented, either from relate with the compliance, relate with the finance, relate with the operation. Yeah, so the first, of course, the ability that we utilize extracting data from our core platform or from the daily repository platform. So we kind of extract on downloading the data automatically utilizing this RPA, and then we do the data consolidation, and then data messaging, and then combine with other tools or other application, and then produce the report in executable or required file format. Yeah, so that's the first applied feature or functionalities relate with our reporting. And then the second big part we utilize for data entries or transactional automation, starting from the booking of our loan, and then data migration or relate with the journal accounting entries. So yeah, so we utilize the bot for that functionality, and then we utilize for other functionality as well on the data client maintenance. We automate the process, and then for others we utilize for the email. We can set interfacing with email, and then we can utilize for the reconciliation process as well. Yeah, so those are some of the example utilization of RPA based on the feature of the bots itself. And then so yeah, so far on the implementation part, we can achieve the processing time up to 70%, where great experience for the staff employees as well. And then from the customer's perspective, they can experience for the faster turnaround time on getting the report, getting the information from the bank in general. So those are what I can share at the moment at this for this robotic process automation implementation. Then, so I'm back to you, Priyanka.
Yeah. Yes, Pujo.
Hello.
I think we're out of time. So
yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I return to you.
So thank you, Pujo. That was a great presentation. I really wish we had a little more time to, go through the questions that the audience have asked. But we thank you for sharing your insights and for putting together a great presentation. So thank you for that.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
We now